Right here I have this Gooseneck Kettle. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and show you everything it comes with, and then we're gonna try it out. So here's everything that came inside the package. We have the base right here, and with all of the different control settings right here on the base. And then we have the plug-in attached to that. It also comes with a little coaster. It looks like a leather coaster, which is really cute. And then we have the actual Gooseneck Kettle itself. You can see this color option is the rainforest color, and I just think this is so cute. I love the style of this. It's definitely a little statement piece, which I think is so fun. Something that I think is really nice about this Gooseneck Kettle is that the entire process of heating up water is so streamlined. You can select the exact temperature that you want your water to come up to make whatever beverage it is that you're going to make with this, which I think is so nice. You don't have to leave any room for error, which takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. I want to talk about the design at first here. It has a shape here on the handle that's a lot more ergonomic than a lot of other Gooseneck kettles, which I like. It also has a little grip right on top, which is perfect because that's how I hold the kettle, just like this, with your thumb on top. Gives you this nice little extra grip here. We have the lid, and it opens up to a complete stainless steel inside, which I'm really excited about. The top of the lid is also stainless steel, so anything that is touching your water that you put in here is all gonna be only touching stainless steel, as well as the inside of this spout. Another thing I really like about this design is that since your water is pouring from the bottom of the kettle, you don't have to tip it like way over like this. You just barely have to tip it in order for the water to come out. And the way this spout is shaped is actually gonna prevent a lot of splashing, and it's just gonna be for a nice, easy stream of water to come out of your kettle. Let's go ahead and plug this in so we can check out some of these different settings on the base here. If I were to estimate, I'd say this cord is about 2.5 feet long, which is a nice distance, especially since you're gonna be using this in your kitchen. So the way this works is you take your Gooseneck Kettle and you just set it right down here on top of the base. And there's 2 different numbers right down here on the knob. Let's get closer so you can see. So there's a top number right here, which right now it says 65 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's just telling the temperature of what's inside the kettle, which right now I don't have anything inside there. So that's the temperature of the kettle itself. And then down below that is your set temperature, what you are gonna want your water to come up to as far as temperature goes. And right down here it says 175 degrees. And when you adjust this knob, you can adjust it by the degree. So if you want your water to be exactly 142 degrees, and that's exactly how you like it for your coffee or your tea or something like that, you can do that. So the lowest temperature set here is 100 degrees Fahrenheit. There is also a Celsius option over here. And then let me see how high the number goes up to. And then the highest that it goes to is 212 degrees Fahrenheit. So starting over here on the far side, this is the Celsius and Fahrenheit button over here to switch that. And then this piece right here is the actual timer. So if you're making drip coffee, for example, you need a timer to make your coffee in the best way possible. And then this timer button right over here, it's going to time, for example, if you're making drip coffee or if you're steeping your tea, this timer goes up to 5 minutes, but it just lets you gauge how much time has elapsed. So this doesn't affect the actual kettle itself, but it is just a little timer, and it counts up from 0 seconds up until 5 minutes. And then right over here is the power button, and right next to that is a hold button. So that's going to hold the temperature of whatever you had it set to, just so that if you're pouring a cup of coffee or if you're making some tea, but you have to do something for 5 minutes, you can push this and you'll be able to come back in 5 minutes. And so the way this is gonna help you is if you have this temperature set to an exact temperature and you're having a couple of cups of coffee, you could definitely set this, have it held to the right temperature so that you and your company can enjoy the perfect temperature of coffee through the afternoon. The feature that I honestly like the best about this is this can actually boil water from fresh water in here to boiling in 70 seconds, which is super fast. I'm gonna go ahead and wash this up and get it set up to go, and we're gonna see how long, if it does in fact take about 70 seconds to get the water up to boiling. All right, I have this kettle all washed up and ready to go. You can see about where the water is in there. I just put some filtered water in. It's about this high up, just for your reference. So I'm just gonna set this right on here, and you're gonna put the lid on. I do want to note that the lid does have a little steam escape right here, which is nice, but you do want to make sure that's not pointing up like underneath a cupboard or something. All right, my lid is on. I am actually going to be making a cup of green tea. I have my tea bag and my mug ready right here. It does recommend that for green tea, you do about 176 degrees. So I'm gonna adjust the temperature here to 176. Now we're just gonna push start and we will time about how long this takes. I'll get my timer set up. All right, let's try this out. Okay, nice. You could hear that little sound that it makes when it is ready and up to temperature. And now I can press hold temperature and it will continue to keep it there, which I think is really nice as well. I pushed the stop timer button a few seconds after it finished. That took about 1 minute and 40 to 45 seconds. So honestly, I'm super impressed with that. It raised about a degree a second. So obviously the higher the temperature you're gonna have, for example, if you put it to 212 degrees, it's gonna take a few seconds longer than if you just heat up your water to 104 degrees, for example. Okay, now that my water is up to temperature, I'm going to take this off and we're gonna pour ourselves a little cup. I love how this isn't just splashing water around. That's honestly probably my favorite part. So now that I put this back, and since I did push the hold temperature, this is creeping the temperature back up to 176, and it's gonna continue to hold it there in case I want a second cup of tea. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this steep for about 2 minutes, and I can actually use this timer here, and it's counting down by the second so that I know about when this is ready to be drank. Overall, I love how this gooseneck kettle looks. I like the little features of the gold knob and just this fun design on this piece here. I do like that they do have some plain options as well. I believe there's a white and a black one if you want to keep your look a little bit more simple. But I like how this looks. I like how ergonomic the handle is. And I love how easy this is to use. Overall, I love how this looks. I like the features just with like the gold knob, for example, and just this fun design that it comes in. This also does come in, I believe, a white and a black color as well if you do want to keep your colors a little bit more simple. But I do also love this ergonomic handle. And I love that all of the material that my water is touching is just the stainless steel on the inside. And I love that you can actually pick the actual degree that your water is set to. I just think that's a really nice feature.